Subscribe right now. Yes, what I just say, subscribe. Yes, you listen to me now. Subscribe, leave a like, and turn on that notification right now. I say now and now. If you guys do not do that, this video will never go to the reaction anymore. And today we're gonna reaction to subscribe. Okay, if I say subscribe, subscribe right now. Okay, please, it's easy. Like, subscribe, and turn on that notification, please. And as always, today we're gonna reaction to SCP-1033, the 33-second man. I do not know what's that, but one of our fans say to watch this SCP, so yeah, I was just like, okay, why not? And right now we're here, and as I say, subscribe, okay, leave a like, and turn on that notification. 2. Do not look at that red button over there. Just click it, subscribe, and leave a like, okay? And share this to your friend and family, and your someone you know you love. Make sure to come here and watch it. And today, as I said, we're gonna react to SCP, and this SCP made by Detective Void, and he almost got 400k. So make sure to subscribe to Detective Void, because he made good content, and same as I. So yeah, as I say, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification. No more talking, let's go to the reaction.
Since inception, the SCP Foundation has detected, neutralized, or taken control of more than 50,000 anomalous objects. Among them are dangerous, nearly invulnerable creatures.
What's that?
And other objects don't pose a risk to humanity. At least not.
Are you serious or just a little bit crazy? SCP-005. That is just a key. I don't know why.
Yeah. The Euclid Class is of particular interest in further study. This class includes objects whose properties and behaviors are not yet fully known. After detailed study, these objects are either downgraded to the Safe Class or upgraded to the Keter Class. The main reason for studying Euclids is to determine the possibility of using their abilities and properties to benefit either the Foundation or humanity itself. One of them is SCP-1033, or the 33-second man. He first appeared on a street in New York City. No other references to SCP-1033.
Why his name is 33-second man, and that guy is just a normal guy.
Can be found. When no references to an object can be found, this usually indicates that the Foundation either neutralized the object after its first appearance, or that any witnesses to an object's earlier manifestations were eliminated. According to eyewitnesses in New York, a man materialized in the middle of the street, out of thin air. He didn't react to any of the surroundings, not to cars, people, or other objects. SCP-1033 is a Caucasian male. This suggests that he's from Europe, possibly from the Middle East or North Africa.
Hey, that is my country over there. That small, tiny, how to say, a stick over there. Yeah, that's my country. It's small, but it's beautiful.
He's no different than a typical balding middle-aged man. He stands at about 6'4", or about 193 centimeters.
That's kinda tall.
Any distinguishing features, as well as the hair color and eye color, not disclosed to the public. Observation of the 33-second man allowed us to study the details of his behavior, second by second. We know that he exists in a time loop that lasts for 33 seconds. The man wears a full suit, trousers, and a jacket. He also carries a briefcase. The man repeats the same actions continuously, dying at the end of each time loop. Immediately after materializing, the 33-second man starts to walk forward, looking at his watch every 10 steps. During the first 10 seconds of the time loop, he manages to take 30 steps. Over the next 5 seconds, the object performs this series of actions. He stops walking, then falls to the ground and kneels. He then opens his bag, takes out an envelope that bears an unidentifiable stamp. The man takes a sheet of paper out of the envelope, bearing the inscription, Cable Asymmetric Cipher 0UU-T5L-MO-022. Let's ruffle some feathers. The object takes a prepaid mobile phone out of the briefcase. The brand of the phone is not disclosed. The device is able to send and receive text messages as well as make calls. Between seconds 15 and 21 of the time loop, the 33-second man uses the cell phone, sending a text with alphanumeric code from the telegram. We know that the text message is sent to an Australian phone number because the number starts with 0404. The number has not been disclosed for security reasons, but it has been determined that the number is not currently assigned to a mobile phone. At 21 seconds, the man puts the telegram and the mobile phone back into his briefcase. Then, SCP-1033 starts to stare intently at a point in front of him. At
Why?
25 seconds, probably seeing something that he wants, the man smiles and even giggles. All of this happens regardless of whether something is blocked.
If I see people like that, I would say, are you okay? And if I saw that, it's weird, you know. And I would tell, are you okay? Are you running from a metal, how to say, when crazy guy who do not have brain, do not have, you know what I mean, okay? Are you running from the center of crazy man who living?
At 28 seconds, the man's body is thrown backwards 3 meters, and he starts to scream and writhe in pain. Right before his eyes, his flesh is ripped from his bones, flying around, and his insides disintegrate. Immediately after his terrible death, SCP-1033 reappears, back where he initially materialized. This cycle repeats itself about every 33 seconds, hence the object's name, the 33-Second Man. SCP Foundation staff interviewed eyewitnesses of the incident. As it turned out, those who were nearby had been blinded by a powerful flash of light. They also heard a loud noise that sounded like television interference, which lasted about 2 seconds. In order to avoid widespread panic, the Foundation was forced to use a Class A amnesiac. This is a programmable type of amnesiac, able to erase a person's memories from anywhere between 30 minutes prior to 2 days prior. Therefore, it's impossible to get any more information about the object from the witnesses. The media also provided false information about the incident. Given that SCP-1033's body disintegrated within a few seconds, one can assume that he received a huge dose of radiation. A nuclear explosion with the power of 1.2 megatons
Holy
produces a
shit.
similar effect, as long as the object in question is located in close proximity to the epicenter. Such an explosion would be 71 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Nagasaki on August 9th, 1945. The energy present in 1.5 megatons of TNT would be enough to power the average American home for nearly 155,000 years. Upon
Okay.
first inspection, the site where the object materialized showed high-energy gamma, neutron, and X-ray emissions. At about 50,000 sieverts per hour, it's fatal to all Earthbound organisms.
Holy shit.
Sieverts are used to measure the level of energy.
I know. This guy must be a North Korean guy. You know, Korean K-pop, not K-pop, because North Korean is not have idol and K-pop things. They are just straight and army things that love to launch the nuclear. We do not know. Maybe that guy is one of the North Korea weapon. Maybe we do not know. Okay, we do not know.
Exposed to biological tissue. In this case, 1 sievert is equal to the amount of energy absorbed by 1 kilogram of the body, equivalent to 1 gray of gamma radiation. The highest level of radiation ever recorded was 1 million millisieverts per hour, near the Fukushima 1 reactor in Japan after its explosion. A person only had to spend 18 minutes near the reactor to develop radiation sickness. Since the 33-second man doesn't display any supernatural ability during his time loop, perhaps we may be able to save him from death. In this case, the time loop would be broken, and any threat from SCP-1033 would be neutralized. In order to do that, the object himself has to be protected from radiation. An example, he could be injected with a dose of radioprotectors up until the 28th second of the time loop, but this probably won't work. Any known radioprotectors only work for single short-term exposure and are useless against high doses of radiation. There's also an experimental anti-radiation vaccine that was invented at the Vladikavkaz Scientific Center RAS in partnership with NASA. They tested it on the liquidators of the Fukushima 1 nuclear accident. The vaccine's effects couldn't be fully evaluated in Japan, however, since its effectiveness is only measurable against lethal doses of radiation. Further, its effectiveness as a preventative measure is questionable. One of the vaccine's developers said that using the serum before radiation exposure would be like shooting a gun at sparrows. Breaking the 33-second man's time loop could also be achieved by altering his behavior, but SCP-1033 pushes any obstacles out of his way, showing no intentions of stopping. He also doesn't react to any attempts to make contact with him. Killing SCP-1033 wouldn't produce any results either, because the time loop continues regardless of whether the object wants it to or not, and after dying, he returns to his original point of materialization, alive. The only known danger of the 33-second man is his lethally high radioactivity. Meanwhile,
if you want to kill him with a sniper and everything, it will not working, because it will be go back to the starting when he standing and walking and do the call and everything.
The object exists on a strictly limited area of 30 steps from his point of materialization to his point of death. We know that the average 193 centimeter high man has a 79 centimeter long step. As such, SCP-1033 manages to travel about 23 meters and 70 centimeters in his 30 steps. In order to capture and extradite the object for further study, a trap was invented, a container of sufficient length, so that the object could continue his loop while remaining inside the container. To protect others from radiation, the container was covered with lead plates. SCP-1033 was then transported to Foundation premises in this container. Since the object didn't pose any particular threat, it was classified as a Euclid and placed in one of the storage facilities. These safe houses are used for long-term storage of both inactive anomalous objects and those that don't carry a risk of autonomous interaction. Because of the object's high radioactivity, keeping him detained requires special conditions, as is the case for many Euclids. A standard 15 by 5 meter chamber was converted especially for SCP-1033. Lead walls, 5 meters thick, were placed along the perimeter. The 33-second man, apparently unable to overcome such a barrier, continued in his unusual time loop, but reduced the lengths of his steps by about half. SCP-1033 is of particular interest to further study, because some of the events associated with the object lay outside of our space-time. The main obstacles to studying the 33-second man are his high radioactivity and the limited observation time. Employees who enter SCP-1033's chamber are required to wear bulky and uncomfortable Level A protective suits. They were specially designed for contact with the 33-second man. You can only watch the object for 33 seconds before he repeats his cycle all over again. So SCP-1033's 33-second cycle was recorded on video and then studied in detail by specialists. Scientists weren't able to find a single significant deviation from the object's original loop of action. Further, nothing was found that would shed light on what might be happening outside of our own field of vision. It remains unknown whether the object can talk, or what level of intelligence he has, since it was impossible to establish contact with him. Presumably, SCP-1033 is an intelligent enough person, since he knows how to use a phone and read a telegram. It's also interesting that the Australian phone number that the man sends text messages to hasn't been issued to anyone. This suggests that the number is not yet in use, so the 33-second man may have come from the future. The clothing, briefcase, and other objects caught the time loop with him also return to their original position when the loop starts over. All attempts to collect samples of the object's clothing is failed. This is hindered by
you cannot take anything from him, and you cannot, I think you need to study. Just open that thing and see it. No matter how long you would take, but make sure to do that, because if not, after 33 seconds, that thing will go back to the regular place.
Our own spatio-temporal conditions. Therefore, we don't know whether a sample of clothing taken from the object would disappear when the loop restarts, or whether it would simply be duplicated. Any items that could be attached to SCP-1033 disappear without a trace when the loop restarts. It's possible that they are destroyed along with everything else. When the
oh my god, when you pooping.
To SCP-1033 disappear without a trace when the loop restarts. It's possible that they are destroyed along with everything else when the invisible explosion occurs at the end of the loop. This facet of the object's existence is also of great interest. There's a chance that the currently inaccessible part of the time loop will eventually move to our own space-time. If that happens, the Foundation will have to deal with the consequences of a nuclear explosion with a capacity of 1.5 megatons every 33 seconds. During one of the last observations, Foundation specialists managed to get a sample of the 33-second man's skin before his death. Scientists want to determine whether the infinite radiation exposure has affected SCP-1033's DNA, or whether he returns to his point of origin in his original genetic form. Some scientists pose that the object isn't a person at all. Some believe that he's a humanoid who took the form of a human man, or that he's a representative of a biotechnological civilization of the future. Other employees at the Foundation Research Department suggest that the 33-second man's DNA changes each time he dies, and that eventually, after an unknown number of genetic mutations, he'll turn into a completely different creature. As it stands, the 33-second man is a potential threat to humanity, namely, if his typical course of action changes, or if he tries to run away. Therefore, 2 security guards are stationed 24/7 at SCP-1033's cell. In the event that he tries to escape, or if his behavior changes, protocol calls for backup. There are 8 other guards in the backup regiment. All of them carry Special 4 MK3 containment units, including
that
the
is
automatic
L, not MK.
net throwing device. Also included are 2 stun grenades and 1 M67 fragmentation grenade. It's unknown how effective this arsenal would be against the 33-second man, because so far his behavior has remained stable. But if there's any change, it's possible that the object could exhibit unpredictable properties and abilities. If you have any ideas on how to solve the mystery of the 30...
Okay, thank you for the 13.3-second man. Even we cannot get a sample of his DNA or skin, it means that maybe that is some sort of, I do not know, a creature that can change anything, DNA and you know what I mean, the blood and everything. So yeah, if you saw that man, make sure to stab him before you go. Okay, because that is dangerous. Sorry. So yeah, I think that's all for today. If you like it, make sure to like, subscribe and turn on the notification to my channel and his channel. Yeah, make sure to do that. What if not, I will hunting you guys with SCP-096. How about that, huh? So make sure to do that and share this to your friend and your family. So yeah, that's all. Have a good day, have a good night, goodbye and stay home.